Alright, in this video I thought I'd go back to my introductory series and quickly go over all the cursed possessions there are in the game in Tanglewood. Now, I did have to bring a little bit along. I brought a lighter and I got a flashlight and a camera. But if I die, I'm not really losing much. Now, this is Tanglewood, so I'll show you the locations of everything. First thing you come up on is the music box. Now, the music box kind of has a couple of uses. When you use it, you can either use it, set it down, or use it as a grenade. When you start playing it, oh, you see, it comes near you. It's within 5 meters of range. Oh, and now I've lost all my... Oh, and it killed me. Alright, so we died with that one, and I'm going to go back to showing the music box. Basically, if you're kind of close enough, the ghost will sing along to it, and you can kind of get an idea of where the ghost room is. If you want to use it very safely, basically just place it somewhere, get an idea for the ghost, and then see what happens. Now, if the ghost was sitting within 5 meters or so of it, it'll trigger a ghost event where it'll materialize, so you can get an easy ghost photo from that. It won't be flickering, and it'll walk towards the music box. Now, if it gets to a short distance in the music box, maybe half a meter, somewhere around there, it'll start a cursed hunt. And also, if the ghost walks for more than 5 seconds during this event, it'll start a ghost hunt. And lastly, what we call a grenade is if you just drop the box instead of carefully place it down, it instantly starts a cursed hunt, which is a favorite of trolls. I'm going to show that second feature here in a second. I didn't start playing, so oh, didn't close the door, but yeah, you can't use it anymore. You only got the one use out of it. So now it was coming from either the fray or somewhere over here, so it was pretty close. When you're playing the music box and you're within a certain range of it, I think it's maybe 2.5 meters or so. Yeah, 2.5 meters, it'll start draining your sanity at a rate of 2.5. So if you are there with the music box during the entire song, and it doesn't start a cursed hunt, you're going to be losing 75% of your sanity. As far as I know, this isn't affected by difficulty. So, if you ever happen to bring it outside, it'll close. If you use it to start a cursed hunt and nobody's in the location, you basically just wasted it or whatever. It will give you kind of an idea. So a shade is more likely to appear as a shadow than a full manifestation. That gives you kind of an idea. Taking a picture of the music box gets you a $5 reward. It's in the third band. That will possibly be changing down the road. But yeah, you can use it in a couple of different ways. You can get a ghost photo off it. You'll know it's there when you're trying to do a smudge, for example. You can use it to start a cursed hunt. If you're far enough away, you can just use it to really bring down your sanity. I mean, more than 5 meters is what I mean. And of course, you can get an idea where the favorite room is from the location. It isn't absolutely precise, so. But yeah, that's the first cursed possession. The next one we've got is the mirror. This really only has it has less functions than some of the other items, but the first thing you do is when you look at it, you get an image of the ghost room. It drains your sanity at 7.5% a second, but just using it will drain you by 20%, so you can't drain less than 20% of your sanity. So looking at it for about, I would say about 2.5 seconds equals to the one used, and usually that's enough time to figure out the sanity drain that you got off it. So I just lost 20%, so keep that in mind. If you do it until the person has lost all of their sanity, the mirror will break and it will start a cursed hunt. Otherwise, it doesn't start a cursed hunt, so it's a pretty safe item to actually use. You do a quick peer, and then you sort of know where the ghost room, or at least approximately. So, I'm going to turn the lights back on here. And go to the next item. Now, you probably already figured out that the loadout I have here has all 7 cursed possessions. So anyways, yeah, that's the ghost mirror right there when it breaks. Now, the next one is the tarot cards, which is real fun. Because it's not some... You could die to it, or you get essentially a 1-up. Goes a couple of different ways. You've got a number of different cards. If you get the tower card... Oh, I should mention what it does is when the game generates the tarot deck, it gives you 10 randomly generated cards. It could be all of the 10 of the same card. It could be missing some in there. It's not guaranteed. You could get 10 tower cards in theory, for example. So going down the list, they all have a unique effect, and there's some multiple versions of that. So now, one key thing is it does trigger a cursed hunt, even if you don't get anything else that triggers a cursed hunt, by just going through the 10 cards. It'll automatically set up each hunt after that to have the extra 20 seconds. It just won't tell you. So starting with the first card here. Oops. You've got the tower card. It's going to cause an interaction, and it's going to double ghost activity for the next 20 seconds. It'll burn blue because there's not 2 sides to it. Then next you got the Wheel of Fortune. This can burn green for 25 more sanity, burn red for 25 less sanity, so it can go either way. You got the Fool, which can disguise itself as any other card. So you'll see like a tower, then it'll burn away to be the Fool, and it'll burn light purple when it does that. It doesn't do anything special, except that when you draw cards during a hunt, every card will be a Fool. So you can't use them. You can't keep drawing cards to get stuff during a hunt. Next one is the Devil card. It'll trigger a ghost event, so a manifestation that'll walk towards whatever player is currently closest to the ghost. Don't assume that it'll be the closest to the favorite room, because it could be wandering, it could be roaming, whatever. It doesn't have a good or bad. It burns up pink. Next, you've got the Death card that automatically triggers a cursed hunt with the usual no grace period. Burns up purple, so there's not 2 ways to do it. Obviously, triggering a cursed hunt, there could be benefits to having a hunt. Keep in mind, it's a cursed hunt, so I'll add the other 20 seconds. It's not affected by crucifixes, and so on and so forth. Next, you got the Hermit card. It burns up as sort of a cyan color, which to me is kind of a light gray. And it'll teleport it back to its room, and it keeps it there for a solid minute. This is great for dealing with ghosts that like doing a roaming all the time. It's not going to prevent them from hunting or anything, but that can be great to put it back in its room. Next, you got the Sun card. Always burns up yellow, brings your sanity to 100. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. Then you got the Moon, which is the opposite. It burns to white, and it drops your sanity to 0. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Next, you got the High Priestess card, which is like the only thing that really has this effect in the game. Well, except for one of the wishes of the Monkey Paw, but I'll get into that. If you draw the card, it will revive a randomly chosen player. If nobody's dead, it'll basically revive the next player that dies. This also works in single player. So you can stack up, you can get essentially a 1-up for your team, so if somebody dies, they're instantly revived. Interesting thing, though, is if the person revives and the hunt's still going on, as far as I know, I don't think they can actually be killed by the ghost twice. So if they die during the hunt and they're revived, they can't be killed a second time by the ghost in that hunt. Now, when you get to certain hunts, a kill extends the duration of that hunt. It doesn't just end it. So, and that burns up to a light yellow. And then lastly, we got the hangman. Basically the opposite of the high priestess. Instantly kills the player. But interesting thing, if you have friendly ghost turned on, the hangman will always be a fool. So I never realized that until actually I read it on the wiki. But yeah, this is instant death. Nothing you can do about it. Now it's kind of fun if you draw a high priest and then you draw a hangman and then you get revived. Honestly, there should be a Steam achievement for that. So let's go through our cards and see what kind of stuff we get. First card, Moon. We are down to 0. Death. We've got a hunt. Now, just to show off what happens, you get Fool cards. Oh, tell me. Alright, so we're back here. I'm gonna grab the lighter, the flashlight, and the camera, why not? I'm gonna go back in and play with the tarot cards some more and see what we get. I think, what was it? Got a Moon card that brought us down to 0. Then we got a Death card which started up first hunt. So, and then we got a Fool card showing what happens when you draw during a hunt. So yeah, Moon card 0. Death card, we got a hunt. Kill this again. Alright, we died again with the tarot cards, so I'm going to be moving on to the next position. So, next position. We go left, we go right. Oh, look. Go to the middle and use the newest position, the monkey paw, which it can be very powerful, but it's very different. You have a certain amount of wishes that there's a series of basically riddles throughout the game that can reveal the different cursed possessions. And then you basically say, I wish, with a valid wish, and it'll use up one of the wishes. These can be very interesting, but very devastating. Oh. And it'll just crunch like that, but it won't actually use up a thing if, it won't use up one of the wishes. If it's not a valid wish. So, keep in mind, you don't have to be pressing a button when using it. If you don't want to accidentally use it, put it down. Oh, actually, you get 5 wishes. Difficulty level, so the one at the difficulty we're on, it's 5 wishes, but it goes all the way down to 3 wishes. So, yeah. So you've got a couple of different ones. Got, I wish to see the ghost. Yep, see, we can see the ghost, and then now we're like freaking blind. And it's coming right for us. Let's go outside and check on our sanity. Now what that did was, it triggered a ghost event manifestation in front of us, and then our vision, basically we're blinded by fog. It'll stand there for about 5 seconds, and then it'll trigger a cursed hunt. And once the hunt ends, you'll return to normal vision. Now, you can use the monkey paw during a hunt. You can actually make the wishes. It'll simply teleport the ghost around to the person who made the wish in the case of a hunt. The stuff with the monkey paw is it can be very strategic. See, we didn't really lose any sanity just from the passive. The monkey paw can be used very strategically. I don't recommend the new players just pick it up because it's not as straightforward. So, okay. Can't even tell what that item is down there. Is that the monkey paw? Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Okay, so no. I wish for activity. Okay. We got increased activity here, but the breaker box, which I think is downstairs, is permanently dead, so we don't have lights. Oh, but the door will be locked for 2 straight minutes, even though it's not a hunt. But there's no cursed hunt with this. I don't think it drains the sanity or anything. But yeah, it's permanently killed the box, and you're walking around without lights from now on. The key thing is if you don't cheat, you actually have to find out what the valid wishes are. Oh. And it just made us blind, and we're locked in. And we're dead. Alright, so we died to a couple of interesting wishes with the monkey paw. One little fun thing to do is if any time you can I wish to leave, your speed will be reduced for 5 seconds and your vision will be reduced, but all the doors will unlock, including the exit doors, even during a hunt. So that can be really powerful to use. And then you can do I wish to revive my friend or I wish for life. It'll revive a dead player, but there's a 50-50 chance the player who made the wish will die, and it doesn't work in single player. So, and then there's a couple others. I wish for knowledge, which removes an incorrect evidence and the ghost types, and then it'll start a hunt. Muffled audio, reduced vision until death. So basically, you become permanently handicapped in exchange for having some knowledge, which you could talk or radio over. Yeah, you can change the weather, but it reduces your sanity along with changing the weather. So on. It's a pretty neat item. I don't really use it a lot myself, but then again, it's the newest cursed item, so. Alright, continuing our little journey, we're going to go down into the basement. Oh. And it just killed the box. Get the box. Okay. Now next we have the summoning circle. This is the one cursed possession you can't use if you have starting items only, because you need something to light the candles. So you'll have to have at least a lighter for this, otherwise it's useless. There's a couple of really good uses for it, but the key thing here is once all candles are lit, the ghost will be summoned into the circle. However, lighting a candle alone will take 16% of sanity for anybody that's nearby, If you light all the candles, you'll lose 80%. So you don't necessarily get a cursed hunt. So actually no, wait, you will. So even if you could essentially light enough of the candles that it could drop you down into normal hunting range, and you could hunt normally before you actually summon it. This does confuse some players, though, when they get used to Summoning Circle. Like, when I was brand new to it, this confused me too. I lit enough candles for it to get in hunting range. It started a normal hunt. But if you actually summon it, it'll start a cursed hunt. So, yeah, you light all the candles, the ghost appears in the circle, and it won't do anything for 5 seconds, so it's like a second grace period. Although, with a cursed hunt, you don't have a grace period, so yeah, you got like a 5-second period. It's treated as a ghost event, so if you need a ghost event, you can light it up. You can get your picture during that. You could have motion sensor, EMF, potentially candle. I'm not sure on that one. You need to be able to smudge the ghost. You can do a lot with the Summoning Circle, and then yeah, it starts a cursed hunt. And you can also use it to reduce your sanity. Keep in mind, 16% sanity. It's not just for you; it's for anybody nearby. So if you only want to reduce your sanity, but yeah, after that 5 seconds, there's no more time. There's no more time. You won't even get the 1 second grace period, and you can only use it once. So, now there's some cases where it can be kind of funny. If you don't have enough sanity to light the candle, then it could start a cursed hunt by the fact that you reach 0. If it's the last candle is lit when there's a hunt going on, I think it just extends it by 20 seconds, something like that. I've had some weird things where I've touched the ghost and it's immediately killed me, even though it's not supposed to. I'm not sure if that's still a problem because I actually actively haven't tried. Now, if you want to avoid getting a normal hunt while you're lighting those candles, you put down crucifixes or pop smudge sticks near the ghost, not the circle itself, but like the ghost room or wherever you think it is. So this will prevent a normal hunt popping before you can actually summon it. But yeah, you can use this for a lot of things, actually. So I'm going to light it up and show you. I'll let it kill me. Boom. Alright, so moving along, I'm going to hit up the OG Cursed Possession, the Ouija board. It was the first Cursed Possession in the game, and it wasn't guaranteed that it would show up. Although there was something sort of like a prototype voodoo doll, but it didn't do what the voodoo doll does now. I think the old voodoo doll, like, if you had it, and maybe increased activity or increased chance to hunt or something. It's been a while, so I don't quite remember. And then on Tanglewood, it's also in the basement here. Now, you've got to actually click it to start it up, and then you can start rattling off questions. Now, questions will vary for as little as 10% for questions that really don't mean too much. I think like basic age questions are only like 10%, whereas if you ask the ghost room, that's 50% right there. Bone is either 40 or 50. So don't be mistaken. But yeah, just to get you in it. Now, when you're done with the questioning, you gotta say goodbye. That's a little trick there. But if you don't do that, it'll still answer questions, and if you walk more than 5 steps or some period from it, they'll cause it to shatter and cause a cursed hunt. Likewise, if it drains your sanity to 0, that'll cause it to explode and cause a cursed hunt. And lastly, this is another thing that you control people with. You bring it to the right inside the exit, and you tell it to play hide and seek. It'll start doing a countdown. At the end of that, it will do a cursed hunt. As long as it hasn't exploded, you can keep using it. But once it's exploded, you can't use it. So we'll show you some examples. Looking at it first. Where are you? Okay, well that's 50% right there. It says for air. How old are you? It's another 10. Why are you angry? Are you a boy or a girl? Are you a man or woman? Are you a man? Where's the bone? How old are you? How old are you? How old are you? Oh, it really hasn't drained much sanity. Where are you? Are you angry? How old are you? Hide and seek. And theirs exploded. Alright, so we actually didn't die from that, but we can't use the Ouija board anymore. Of course. Oh, here's the bone. I'm not even sure where our Sandy's at right now. Ooh, creepy child. Okay. And next we have the voodoo doll. Actually, I think it's the final one we have. Well, we know it's in the foyer. So... basically pushing in a pin causes an interaction. It's going to be a great way to force it to write or a lot of other things. Oh, and it is... it killed us. Alright, so... we're on the last possession, and that's the voodoo doll. Every pin you push down will cause a nearby ghost interaction. Kind of best to do it near or around the favorite room. Now, if you don't know where it is, that can be kind of random chance. So, the voodoo doll, well, on smaller maps like Tanglewood, yeah, it's plenty easy to tell an interaction, but another map, it may do nothing. So, 5% sanity loss on all the other pins, and it does an interaction if it's close enough. Oh, see, that's another interaction right there. Another interaction. Oh, and part pin is 10% plus and if the voodoo doll drains you to 0 sanity, it also starts a curse time. Well, that's pretty much it for all of this introduction to all of the 7 first possessions. If you're a new player, I definitely say give them a try, but they can also be kind of trolly. If you're playing with other people, I'd ask them first, I'd consult to who should use ghost possessions and under what, but hope you have a good time with those.